Welcome back to the Wizard Shop, and the theme of today's video is hard to find parts that don't exist anymore, and cars are getting harder to work on. What are you doing?
Oh, so pretty. The Nera edition Gallardo. You've had this here before. And
yes.
Oh, I miss mine. Mine wasn't a Nera, but it was a blue 04.
Well, without further ado, let's get started. So in one of the recent videos, you guys heard me talk about the bin pack fans or the evaporative cooler fans they'd be sending me. Junior Mint has actually got them set up, and they are so nice. I did have one. Now I have 1, 2, 3 of them in this shop. It's really going to help out. I'm going to turn this one on right now. What are you doing?
I'm cooling myself.
Yes, they work very well, don't they?
Oh man, even with 1, it was a lifesaver when we did car issues here, and now 3, that'll be nice because we can cool it down and then turn the fans off, shoot our shot, and then turn them right back on, and I'll just do that for a few minutes.
I can remember many times where we get our filming done and we're all beating sweat and we're like, turn the fans back on. Yes. These things work so well. Check the description for a link down below to go to Ranger Products or Bin Pack Products. These things are a lifesaver in a shop. They literally can cool the shop 10 to 20 degrees. I've seen it. It works. Okay. Now we have 3 of them.
Yeah, well, turn the camera off because now I'm going to drop my pants and cool myself off that way.
All right, go ahead. All right. So this is a 2007 Lamborghini Gallardo. No Acon, it's not a Gallardo. It's a Gallardo. And it's a Nero edition. It's a very cool car. It came in with a slowdown light through 1 through 5. And the only codes that were in there was an oxygen sensor and an emissions evaporative purge valve issue. That's it. So I figured, I've been through this before. You've been through it on your blue one.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yep, on a silver Gallardo. I actually had to order those probably a few years ago for our buddy Leo. It was no trouble. This time around, I contacted my guy and I said, send me another set of those. He said, there are none.
Really?
They're discontinued. I thought maybe there's something fishy going on here. I actually got a hold of some other Euro spares and Scuderia in different places. They're gone.
It's a really common problem. Like with mine, actually, I had the Car Ninja do it. Don't get mad at me.
Oh no, I'm not.
It was just a quick, easy thing, so it popped it in. I mean, very simple to do, and it's gone.
It's gone. Discontinued. My guy Glenn at AMH Exotics actually contacted the factory in Italy and said, what's the deal here? Are they gone? And they said, they are confirmed. Discontinued. They're gone.
So basically this $100,000+ Lamborghini is going to have a permanent check engine light forever.
No, I was able to fix it by getting used parts.
Oh.
But isn't that strange? What kind of world are we coming to? This is not that old.
Yeah, that makes no sense. I mean, these are basically the Toyota Camrys of Lamborghinis. They built more of them than any other up until recently with the Huracan. That's wild.
It's strange. Let's head on over to the parts table. So when I called to get an oxygen sensor, where did you come from?
I'm just used to popping out in the
What were you doing down there?
It's what I do.
You're making me nervous.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. So I went to order the oxygen sensor. He said, no problem. And he sent it. It's here. But these little emissions valves. That's all they are. Just little purge valves, one for each bank of the engine. Those are discontinued. They're gone. These little guys right here.
And they don't match up to some other Audi, Volkswagen, something?
If you go into the newer years where they are actually Audi, Volkswagen parts, this is actually Fiat parts. That's the problem.
Okie doke.
They do match up to ones you can buy on an Audi or whatever, but these do not. And I actually had to get a set of good used ones with a warranty from eBay from Germany. This includes the hoses and everything.
How much was that?
100, 180, 200 bucks, something like that. That didn't include shipping. That was just to get those ordered. So it's really not too bad, but I actually looked on the eBay listings and there were several. This is a common issue. They're selling like hotcakes. Because it's a common problem, like you said, and now you have to go get used ones.
Yeah. Well, it reminds me of, say, like, because we got to know each other from the old Mercedes diesel days. And back when I started buying them, like in 2007, you could get the headlight door replacements for those cars and tons of other little parts.
Oh, yeah.
And then the last time we went through one, couldn't get any of it.
They're gone.
It's weird. Even Mercedes, who's really good about supplying to classic cars and things, about really the best of any brand, and that's a challenge right now as well. So Lamborghini owners, they're going to be hoop-defying with used parts that they got salvage marks on them and things.
What else do you do? I mean, the check engine light will be on for eternity unless you do something with that.
Wow. What a shame.
It's crazy. Let's take a look in the engine bay and show you where these things are located. So it's actually not even a hard job. If I can just get the parts, I can have this done quickly. You can see these two little hoses here. They go to the charcoal canister, which is located over there. And it would literally take 30, 45 minutes to get those swapped out. But I have to go to Germany and get used ones to replace these. It's really, really crazy. It's kind of odd that I mentioned these and you even knew right away where they were.
Yep. I mean, pretty much everybody has to deal with it. You would think they would still make that.
You would think so. It's going to be a common problem. They could continue to make money on it. It's almost like they're saying, go buy a new Lambo. Quit fooling around with these old ones. Why are you trying to keep the old ones running?
Yeah, who cares about the heritage?
Right.
Yeah.
Come buy a new one. So, I don't know. It's kind of strange. And then we're going to get into cars are getting harder to work on. We were able to get the parts on this Range Rover over here, but it should be a simple job on a diesel, and it's not. Let's go take a look. This one here is a 2017 Range Rover Sport. And what's so strange about this one is it's a diesel, a turbo diesel.
Really? That's cool.
It's a 3-liter diesel that they offer. I really haven't seen any of these in the shop. There's not that many of them on the road here in America.
Right. All over the place in Europe. This is kind of what Clarkson drives in Clarkson's farm, a diesel one of these.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, rare to see in the U.S.
This one came in with a code. It was also a very simple issue based on just reading the code. You would think it would be simple. It said number 4 glow plug is bad. That's it.
Sure.
I thought, well, that shouldn't be too bad. And then I looked up the hours on it, 4 and 5 hours. And the glow plugs themselves are not very cheap. There's 6 of them. If we're going to go this deep, we're going to do all 6, not just the one.
Uh-huh.
But let's take a look at the parts table, and then we'll look in the engine bay. So here we are at the parts table. We have all these parts. You're kind of like on the internet when those things keep popping up, those crazy ads, and you're just like, go away.
There's only one site that still has that kind of stuff nowadays.
Oh, yeah?
One kind of site, so.
Oh, we won't go there.
Anyway.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
Okay, let's leave that one alone.
Anyway, okay.
But thinking about like a 300D,
Yeah.
when we did glow plugs, did you have to do all this?
No, they're right there. You just take them out, you ream the hole, put it back in.
Yeah. You had to take out the cowl, the wiper arms, everything just to get back in the back. Here's the
Jeez.
oil filter, and here's the little intake manifold.
Yeah.
Here's the crankcase oil separator.
Yeah. Bunch of bolts, and here's the little pencil glow plugs, huh?
Yep, 6 of those.
Wow. Yeah, that doesn't look. This one looks kind of ugly.
That one's the one that blew out.
Yeah.
You can see it melted.
Ooh, here.
Yeah, show that to them.
Ooh. Here's bad. Here's good. It's a good nose picker.
They actually make very good.
Oh, we got one, actually. Wow. All right.
Well, maybe you want to keep one.
Yeah. Candy.
So now I see why when I looked at the labor hours on this, they were talking 4 or 5 hours. It was just like, how could it take that long to change out some glow plugs? And Danielson's actually doing this job, and he got the table full of parts, and I was like, that's why it takes 4 or 5 hours to do the job. Let's take a look in the engine bay. So here we are in the engine bay, and you can see there's lots of things disconnected, and you can actually see right down in there, there's a brand new glow plug installed. 3 on this side and 3 on this side. You're not going to get to them or pull them out without pulling all those parts off that we just showed you on the table. This should not be this hard. It should not be this time consuming. It is really, really crazy. One thing Danielson mentioned while he was taking this apart, he had to move so slow and so careful because he said everything is plastic in there and it was just waiting to snap on him.
Yeah.
He could actually hear, he would move something out of the way and it's making, he was like, He's like, this job really is making me really stressed out, Wizard. He actually told me that. He says, everything really wants to snap on me. Luckily, he hasn't snapped anything.
And these are actually the more solid modern diesels compared to, say, like Mercedes diesels that have the leaks, the $1 million leaks
Right.
in certain areas. The engine has to come out. This one, I don't know of any big gotchas with it. I don't know. Maybe you do.
Not really. I don't know a whole lot about it. I haven't seen a whole lot of these. It's kind of a
Yeah.
new thing. But these don't have a vapor canister. You guys have seen some videos recently where we've done charcoal canisters on vehicles. Luckily, these do not have that type of an emission system. However,
The PP tank?
the PP tank,
Yes!
it's urea, not urine.
You pee in the tank and that fills it up, right?
No, it's called AdBlue.
I haven't peed blue in a long time. That was after a trip to Mexico. Not really. Never mind.
No, we don't want to go there
Anyway.
either. There is a little cap to fill AdBlue on this. It does have that for the emissions system.
See it?
Yep,
Okay.
right over there. But what I'm getting at here on these is obviously 2021, 2022 vehicles, I'm not working on them because they're still under warranty. It doesn't make sense to bring it here. You take it to the dealer and get it fixed for free. But as these warranties are expiring and I'm getting into newer vehicles, 2018, 19, I'm starting to see the trend here. It's just so much plastic. Everything is at the bare minimum, just enough to work. And they're breaking like crazy. It's just, it doesn't matter which brand you buy. It doesn't matter if it's Ford or Range Rover or Chevy, Mercedes, just like you guys saw in the Metris van that you just watched. They're getting harder and harder and more complicated because they've cheaped out so much that it makes our jobs harder.
So we should all buy Buick Roadmasters then.
Yes. Buick Roadmaster wagons especially.
Good call. The
Yep.
future.
The future. And it kind of harkens in electric cars
Yes.
because with what's going on here is only going to get worse is what my prediction is, and people as a whole are going to get tired of it. They're going to be like, I don't want this anymore. I'll just buy an electric car.
Right. Which will give you reliability up until the battery fails, and then that totals the car. So you're just throwing it away every 10 years. But I suppose that's what like dishwashers are like nowadays, and computer printers
Right.
maybe 2 years. So
People
why not with
don't
cars?
people don't repair their dishwasher anymore. They
No.
just they go get a new one.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of a crazy mentality to think about, but there's one last car we want to hop over to, and that is your Aston Martin.
Well, that's not too old, and it's easy to fix, right?
Actually, it is easy to fix compared to this,
So it's a different problem than the other two?
and we can get the parts, but the prices have...
Oh.
And this is a 2003 Aston Martin V12 Vanquish. And I'm going to open the hood, and it's going to go pop up in the air like he just did. Whoop.
So you've already looked over this thing for me, Wizard. It has a misfire, and it also has a coolant low-level warning, and we're going to give it a service. So, I mean, what's different than Aston Martins before when we did this?
Well, in Aston Martins in the past, like the ignition coils, they were like 120, 130 a piece. Now they're 200 a piece, times 12,
So, like $2,500 for coils?
just for the coils. The plugs are 20, 30 bucks a piece, times 12.
Okay.
And then the coolant reservoir, which you see right there with the float and everything included, which has failed on this one.
That little thing. So every once in a while, about half the time, it's telling me the coolant's low, but it's not.
Right.
So the little sensor in there, you can't replace it. You have to do the whole thing, right?
Yeah, it comes as a kit. And it's got the reservoir, the float, the sensor, and everything. I guess one of the issues is if you try to replace just the float or anything like that, it actually damages the reservoir. So $1,500 just for that. And the last time I looked at one of those, they were $500. Well, now you're not so spry to jump up and down, huh?
You get in the video now. I need a moment.
You need a moment?
Yeah.
And most of this is parts, guys. The labor to get this done is only going to be about $1,000. It's going to be $6,000 for a tune-up, a coolant reservoir, and an oil change. Let's take a look. As you can see right here is that little black box, $1,500. That is really, really insane. So the parts aren't so scarce on this, it's that they're gone. They're there, but now they cost even more because they're getting more scarce. The coils, which are underneath these little covers, the intake plenums have to come off to get to them. But there's 6 on each side. $200 a pop. You got spark plugs. There's also plenum gaskets to replace when we pull the plenums off. All this together is $6,000, and it's, like I said, the labor is really not such the big deal. It's the cost of the parts.
So what you're saying is the world is screwed, no matter what.
It is. It's really bad. So anyone who's running a shop right now, you probably can say, yes, I know, I've been through all that. It's easy to say also that, well, all 3 cars we've looked at are exotic or European or expensive. But I've been having the same problems on Toyotas, Chevys, Mercedes Metris vans, which is right behind Mrs. Wizard. The Nissan Juke over there, I had to get bearings from Australia. They don't exist in America. They're gone?
Buick Roadmasters, parts everywhere, right?
Yeah, everywhere.
That's the answer.
It is the answer.
I'm selling everything and just driving Buick Roadmasters. A fleet of them.
A whole fleet of them?
Yep, that's it.
All the different maroon and the light blue with the wood.
Sold.
Sold. I'm sorry about the $6,000 on this. There's nothing I can do about it. But
You don't seem that sorry.
another thing that's going up is fuel for my yacht.
Oh, yes. Oh, poor you. Anyway.
It's not going to be $4 a gallon. You know, at the lake it costs more.
Yeah. Well, the only thing, the saving grace is you bought this giant building. And when you bought it years ago, you thought, there's no way I'm ever going to fill this space. And now you filled it because it's mostly cars waiting on parts.
Right.
You really need twice the space at this point now because of this problem. So you're in a unique situation where if you lived in California where you had a little tiny shop or somewhere else, that'd be a big issue.
I'd be in trouble. I kind of predict 5 and 10 years from now, especially with we got the old Lincolns in the shop. Those are really hard to get parts for where they weren't 15 years ago. These cars are now going to be in that same predicament. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. So you're going to get into an older exotic or something. Parts are going to be a real pain.
Yeah, well, millennials already don't care about cars as much. They're just transportation. So the car hobby, we might be on the precipice of the cliff of death, huh?
It might be.
Yeah.
You're right. A lot of them don't care about cars. The younger generations are just, they'd rather be at home going and doing this.
The majority of my, well, wealth, I guess if you could call it, is in cars. You know?
Cars.
So, yeah. Anyway.
So anyways,
Let's end this video, please.
let's get it over with.
Yeah, before I just, hear it.
Okay. So if you're curious what kind of tools we're going to use to fix this Aston Martin and pull him out from underneath the hood, check my Amazon affiliates link in the description below. We get a small cut and really appreciate it. And make sure to hit the subscribe button because I need more yachting money and I need to get him out of here before he dies. He's got a bill to pay. Please don't hurt yourself in there. I have a bill waiting for you. Thanks for watching.
US.
And it just came in with a...
It came in with a turkey? Gobbling?
Yeah.
Came in, what?
That can be a good outtake.
It will be.
Thanks.
I'm sure it's in there for you.
This one, I can't even, I'm just laughing.
there.